So you guys know my boy Cecil. But one thing that I don't know about, and I've never known about, because you meet people throughout this whole deal when you're doing content creation. You meet people all the damn time. And Cecil is one of my favorite damn people in real life, like to hang out with. But I've always wondered to myself, how the absolute hell did you get here, and where did you come from in the spectrum? Because I asked Gary, he's like, yeah, I had a comic book store, and then I started making videos, and all these people have these different wild ass stories. Mine was like boring. It's just like I made a video about GameStop, and then suddenly I was doing this. But how did you? Because you joke around that you're like the professional co-host or professional guest.
Yeah, I am. That's what I am. Because other people are like, how do you? I don't understand. How does everybody know you? You have the smallest channel. I'm like, I only do like one video a month,
Yeah.
and that's because I'm obligated to with the Jack Show.
Yeah.
And people are just like, I don't understand. Like, every single person knows you, but who the fuck are you?
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't know. But it started with well, I was. It's weird. It was all comic book related. I was a huge comic book collector. I took years off, probably over 10 years off from fucking collecting. My brother was in the hospital dying, so I was with him a lot. So I went to a comic book store because I just wanted shit to read while I was in the hospital with him. And I picked up a pile of fucking comics, and it was like shit. And this is like 2017, 2016. And it was like shit. And I was like, am I going out of my mind, or is like, fuck it, is this all garbage now? Is this all fucking shit? This is I hadn't been like aware of like woke culture and shit. I wasn't just tuned in. I was doing other shit. I had life going on. And then a fucking, I just typed in like, what the fuck is wrong with comic books into Google? And a video came up, and it was, your boy Zach. I don't know if you know him, Diversity in Comics, Comic Matters. He's like pretty much the godfather of Comicsgate. Yeah. He started it all because he just started this little channel where he was ripping these books apart, being like, they don't give a fuck about the story. They're just pushing an agenda. And I was like, oh, fuck. I love this guy. Like, he's fucking saying exactly what I wanted to hear. So at that point, I did a little channel. I was like, oh, let me read some and review them. And then I was just realized I'm a clone of him. Like, it's not necessary. Like, I'm basically fucking coming to the same conclusions as him. Yeah. So I was like, oh, let me do something different. Let me do like a SJW who reviews the comic books and says they're the greatest comic books. And, so I was taking up these shit comics, and I would grab like classics from my collection, and I'd be like, okay, Squirrel Girl versus X-Men 150. And I'd be like, this X-Men 150 loses, and I'd put it in a shredder. I'd really shred it, and people would go crazy like they were shredding plastic comic. So that's what I was doing. I was doing like, I guess, like Tatiana McGrath type of thing. But before there was Tatiana McGrath, I was doing like an over-the-top SJW. And then what happened was SJWs progressively got so crazy that you couldn't mock them anymore. The shit that you were mocking them for, they were actually doing. You couldn't go over the top enough because they're actual shit. So, so I slowly, like, the kayfabe of the Cecil SJW character kind of drowned up. But I was always a guest. And Ethan Van Sciver, who has Comic Artist Pro Secrets, Cyberfrog, he just left a message in one of my videos, and he was like, this is the funniest shit. He's like, I hope to meet you one day. So I was in the chat while he was doing a show. It was him, Jeremy from Geeks and Gamers, and Jeff from World Class Bullshitters. And I was in the chat, and they said, like, send me the link. And I had never live streamed before. I'd only done these little shitty videos like with my phone. And they came on, and I stayed in character as, Super SJW, and the fans loved it. So he just kept saying every time he'd come on, he'd send me the link. He's like, send me the link. And I met Jeremy through there. And then we all met up at New York Comic Con, I think in 2018. So I met Gary, I met Quarter Black, all these people who knew who I was from these stupid little videos.
Yeah.
And I've always stayed friendly with them. And I ran into them this year in Florida, hung out with all of them again. and I've always stayed friendly with everybody. So I kind of, when they were all just starting out too. So I've always been like guests on people's shows, and I've always known them since when they were kind of just building their channels. So I've been like a mainstay just of somebody that they know and gets, you know, and that's how it was. I was just around and funny.
Did you ever feel okay? So I struggle with something a lot, and I do even to this day, man. Even to this day, do you ever feel out of place? Like I'll go to like conventions, and there's all these people that have been doing this for years and years and years, and I've been doing it for 4 years now. But there's all these prominent people that are like doing all this content and stuff, and then there's me, and sometimes I'll feel
you got like 250,000 subs. What the fuck are you talking about?
I'm just saying, like I still feel out of place. Like I'm like I don't know,
dude. I have 15,000 subs, and I don't feel out of place.
It's what do they call
everybody it? Welcomes me with open arms when I show up. So I'm just like, all right, these are my boys. These are my fucking crowd. Yeah. But they're all got 500,000. And most people are like, who the fuck is this guy?
I feel like if you like dug down for 3 to 6 months, you'd hit 100,000 pretty quick.
100,000. Yeah. All right. Well, I'll try. We were talking a little bit for a few minutes before the show, so I'm going to start doing a Tuesday night live stream. And we'll see how that goes. But I'm gonna try to be consistent on that and just make. I could do that. Tuesday's a shit night for me.
Yeah, right? And then just put out one video a week about something like that might pertain to whatever you're interested in. It doesn't take long as you're entertaining. There's a reason why you're a professional guest, and it's because you're entertaining. Except when you're real drunk and it's like 4 a.m. You're like, share my screen, bro, and I'm like, no, we're not doing it. Don't do it, Cecil.